Welcome, Libra. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your full moon in Sagittarius reading on the 31st of May. This is a blue moon, the second full moon in the month of May. We haven't had one for over 2 years, so this is fairly infrequent. Once in a blue moon, the expression many of you are familiar with. And it's also a micro moon because the distance from Earth to the constellation of Sagittarius, where the moon is exceedingly far this time of the year. So it appears somewhat smaller in the sky than it usually does. Having said all that, this is really impacting you in an area of the way you communicate, your ideas, the way you distribute information, the way information is shared, and how you learn, as well as how you teach. So this is going to be applied among those that you are in conversation with, that you are typically in small intimate groups rather than you giving a lecture, for example. So starting with the energy archaeology, I pulled for you the card Perspective, and I believe your opposite sign Sagittarius received the same energy oracle. And I'm going to read from the book. Perspective gives you the gift of seeing more, not only with your eyes, but with your other senses. Pausing in a place where you can gain perspective is an evolved trait. Slowing down and gaining perspective gives you ability to work with your environment rather than react to it, and to change the future by purposeful design. Let the energy of your environment swirl around you for however long it takes. Sometimes perspective can be gained in a split second, but it can also take its sweet time solidifying into guidance that you may not have recognized in your race or haste to change the way you see things. Integrate what it feels like to allow yourself to be moved before you do the moving. This is very profound. I feel that it is so beautifully integrated with, indeed, the full moon energy of seeking the freedom, gaining the freedom, taking the freedom to pursue the horizon, knowing full well that the truth you're meeting is emerging as you move, as you approach it. So it's not as though a neon sign is appearing to you out of the sky. This is really your ability to invest in yourself and the possibility that there are other ways in which you are gaining guidance that are not just academic or intellectual. That there is an energy frequency that is opening up to you and that you are beginning to recognize. In the present, this 8 of Wands and the 4 of Cups. I think you've been consumed with practicing ways in which you find support and align yourself with that. This often comes from some kind of a communal system where you perhaps were something of a provider of support for others rather habitually. And in this particular practice you're cultivating, it is the opposite. You are looking for those that see your value and that are willing to support you in their faith in you. And so in that process, you come to consider every invitation, every offer with a new lens. The offers are coming fast and furious. For many of you, your calendars are filling up. If you're a practitioner, your schedule may be booked. And you may still be understanding your relationship to these offers. What do these offers or invitations bring to you? Many of them you will determine you're not aligned with, and others you will feel as if you're still new, but that you've arrived in a new place in your practice. A new level of visibility that you are embracing. In the past, the Lover's card. This is about a choice that you made in the past. And this is really looking less at short-term gratification because you've set goals that are critical to how you are defining those supportive partnerships that can help you towards achieving those. And so this is a very different criterion from perhaps a more traditional criterion for evaluating partnerships, where it is assumed that the chemistry of you together begins to define where you're moving. This feels different. You know yourself, and your partners or potential partners also know themselves and are deeply connected with that sense of not only experience, but of potential, possibility, dreams. And so for a while you've been evaluating your partnerships on the ability of that connection to support your vision. Hopefully it's a vision that you are both aligned to, but this is really a different way of not only seeing those significant others and what they bring into your life, but it's a different way of viewing yourself as not simply one who provides or supports, but one who is worthy of support. And in the future, the 10 of Cups and the 9 of Wands. You're definitely building towards this really resourceful, integrated, protected community, one that is fully in flow with the needs and of a community and the desires of that community. This feels as though, like the picture on the card, you are clearly anchored to a region, a place, a piece of land, a location, and that part of what you are identifying as the ideal community for that is a community that recognizes the majority, the factor, the gratitude for the land, the earth that whatever enterprise or community sits on is located. But you do this with a lot of guardedness. And part of that guardedness comes from your history. Developing something popular, desirable, means that there are a lot of would-be supporters, or it has attracted a lot of attention in ways in which others might want to exploit your goal or your desire for community for other purposes. So it feels like this is something you've been working towards for a long time, and you've had a lot of failures, disappointments along the way. You've been damaged by those. Nevertheless, you're determined, you're not giving up, and you are receiving a ton of attention, and you will continue to keep getting invitations as you're building this particular vision of communal well-being. If this reading is resonating with you so far, please like this video, please share it with others if you feel inclined to do so, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I so appreciate those of you that support me and understand how important it is. So I'm going to pull a couple of cards to clarify the lovers in the past. And we have the 7 of Cups and the 4 of Cups in the present. The 8 of Wands and the 4 of Cups. We have the Page of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. Those flipped over too. And the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Cups in the future is clarified by the Death card and the 6 of Wands. Interesting. I saw the death card as I was shuffling, meditating on your sign, so it's interesting to see it pop up here. In the past, the lovers, this is really clarifying the nature of the choice, the decision, and how much you've changed. So you're recognizing a variety of options that are now available to you. And this feels like it's in the container of your relationships or partnerships. There perhaps were many people offering you some support along the way, and that intersected with the way that you were beginning to support yourself and determine what support was appropriate for you at this stage in your life. As I said earlier, this is in the context of a very different sense of who you are. This is you as an empowered creator, as someone who can build, who can move towards achieving a dream. And in that way, you are really allowing your emotional body, your emotional intelligence to guide you through what can be uh, a, a, um, a complex family system of support that already exists for you, but perhaps was very conditional in some way or another. And you're learning to, or have learned in the past, to take those conditions and discard them when it comes to the way in which you identify the support that is important to you. It feels like you are moving away from any expression of conditional love or approval. That is something that doesn't hold you back in the way it probably had in the past. In the future, in the present rather, the Ten of Wands and the Four of Cups is clarified by the Knave of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. Yes, the Ace of Pentacles is the key here. You've manifested for yourself a new opportunity. This can be a new practice, a new job, a new location, or the establishment of something new in place on the earth. There continues to be this strong connection to the earth in this reading, in a way that you're identifying the value of something you already have and utilizing that, leveraging that to move you into an area where you agree that there is a lot you don't know. And you are open to learning about that relationship to the earth, to your body, to the resources you have, how you can share that with others, and how from that field of ideas you're determining the alliances that are staying with you, those alliances you want to join into in order to do work that goes beyond meeting your personal needs, even if your personal needs are in part intended to address the needs of a community. So you are hooking up with those community partners. You are interrogating your own practice, even as it is being formulated, with a view to what others are telling you, the feedback you're receiving, the opportunities to do other kinds of work with those same community partners. And in the future, the Death card and the Six of Wands is clarifying the Nine of Wands and the Ten of Cups in your future. Some kind of surrender, some kind of complete release, some way in which you are allowing yourself personally to experience a renewal. This can be the result of a literal passing of someone that was important in your life, most likely an authority figure. It is quite likely that that person left you with some resource or some wisdom, some something that you can leverage and reintegrate into a project that has all the meaning that you are carrying forward from this new opportunity that you've created for yourself. So I do see you getting a lot of attention for whatever service you're providing, whatever new thing you're building. There are many people that want to be a part of that, and you are seeing yourself as one within a community, as a part of a family of co-creators, collaborators, rather than as the sole authority figure or creator in this project. And because you are identifying yourself that way, you are really participating in a way that is advancing this project, this new opportunity rather rapidly. And that is what is gaining you the attention. That is what is giving you the sense of responsibility, recognition by your peers, those that you are now organizing with, that you are aligning yourself with, that you are creating with. This is a lot of pride in the work that you are doing and what you've been able to pull off here, in your humility to see yourself as part of a larger team. That keeps you humble, that keeps you clear that you are learning here. This is about opening you up to new ideas, new ways of doing things, and ways that openness is something that is being acknowledged. I'm going to finish this reading with a Language of Flowers oracle. And I pulled Heart's Ease. The key word is compassion. Tread a little more tenderly. And I really do think this has to do with you. And as I say that, I realize I completely skipped over the Soul's Journey oracle, whose key word is love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. So I do think that you are doing a lot. You are properly humbled. You are seeing yourself as part of this beautiful community, but you may be unwittingly a little harsh on yourself. You may be prodding yourself with the list of responsibilities you've taken over, or you've actually evolved in this building that you have been consumed with for a while. This building, this creating that is impacting you as much, if not more, than the people you are looking to serve. So be kind. Thank you so much, Libra, for this reading. Until next time, namaste.